pledge love and loyalty to the country salute. My how we there, my how we born. We sweet salute. We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. This we land we love. We not for make and fall.
Sierra Leone is indeed a land rich in natural resources, including diamonds, gold, bauxite, and rutile, along with a vast potential for agriculture and fisheries. However, the shadows of its past, most notably the brutal civil war from 1991 to 2002, continue to haunt the nation. The war, fueled by corruption, economic disparity, and the infamous blood diamond, left deep scars on the social, political, and economic fabric of the country. The politics of grievance, characterized by deep-seated resentment and divisions along ethnic, regional, and partisan lines, remains a dominant force in Sierra Leone's political landscape. These grievances often stem from historical injustice, perceived marginalization of certain groups, and the legacy of corruption and nepotism in government. As a result, the political discourse and interactions in Sierra Leone are frequently charged with mistrust and antagonism, impeding efforts to build a unified national identity. This fractured political climate has significant implications for nationhood and development. The continuous cycle of blame and counter-blame between political parties has diverted focus from more critical developmental policies and reforms. Public institutions struggle with inefficiency and corruption, further eroding citizens' trust in the government. Consequently, national unity remains elusive, with regional and ethnic loyalties often taking precedence over a collective national identity. The lack of a cohesive national vision undermines development efforts, as political instability discourages foreign investment and disrupts long-term planning. Social cohesion is also compromised, with communities remaining divided along political and ethnic lines. For Sierra Leone to progress towards true nationhood and sustainable development, it is essential to address these historical grievances, promote inclusive governance, and foster a political culture that prioritizes national interest over partisan gain.
Yes, from now, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever on a day. Mami temene la piari sekenu pondesia mende mui gala aua kawiena. Begin with say him papa and mama no go sleep. Himself no dey sleep. And sometimes the begin they forget saying papa and mama get stamina pass am. 600 years ago, what we they call Sierra Leone today have been part and parcel of a very decentralized, when I say decentralized, then we get one leader we all man they look to for protection and everything. But every area been getting on chief or banner or by where kind of take care. Then chief, then banner, then we get lots of freedom for do how they like as long as they don't offend the leader. Within that period, Some of the chief them and the Bana them, where they near the coast, can begin do business with Europeans, with Wetman them. Then some can go rogue. They begin sell. Then fumble them to Wetman. Then only stop for sell, then fumble to Wetman. Then kind land can begin create trouble, create war, create confusion, and capture people, them they go sell. This now the summary of the slave trade. The slave trade, of course, begin at Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Northern Guinea, Conakry area, Kamsa, and Patlede. But later he extend south, he enter into what we call today Sierra Leone. He go as far as Bont Island, he go as far as Cape Mount in Liberia, because the chief then at the coast, then she say, for sell them birthright for cocoa ebe, a fine thing. 600 years later, that process they repeat itself gradually and quietly in Sierra Leone. Now I make all the time work in Canada, they tell people them in Sierra Leone say, una pay attention. Talking is good, but pay attention. Who been they go school, they not been the grill or talk in a class, not only because the teacher know I hear real voice, but because they will allow pay attention. What in they go on Sierra Leone right now? If Sierra Leoneans pay attention, then go understand, see, we they move into a modern day form of slavery. A lot of people they grumble all over social media. The problem now Sierra Leone, now we constitution get problem, now we this, now we that. Not so Sierra Leone no more the right constitution. No. In fact, the United Kingdom of Great Britain will be there under. They no get constitution. Then get conventions and other things then we now by that then they run themselves. They don't have a right constitution. The only paper would then look to, that one paper would then be make some hundreds of years ago then call a Magna Carta. We from 1961 to now, we don't change 3 or 4 constitutions. But we still not get good constitution. What in that they tell we? They tell we say laws are as good as the people who made them, how they think. I want to make one thing clear. The present constitution we Sierra Leone they use, by accident or by design of some fate, I don't know, I mean happen for Dede as part of the Constitution Commission, not as a regular person where they sit on there, but I was co-opted into it because the Peter Lorenzo Tucker, Dr. Peter Lorenzo Tucker Constitution Commission, we formulate this constitution what they use so. They been get a seat for the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. And by then, I was one of the vice presidents of the Teachers Union. Secondly, the lady will be say for the go sit down there on behalf of the Teachers Union, Mrs. Catherine Kamara, may her soul rest in peace. Mrs. Catherine Kamara, most of una we go Albert Academy, una know am as Miss Yellow, Madam Yellow. tall, well-built woman. Times when Enoch gets chance for go, because by then she was also principal at Ansarul Secondary School, Dovecot. When Enoch get chance for go, I make him go represent him. I sit several times at that Constitution Commission day, and when they make the first draft, I had a copy. That draft there have been getting with me up to the 8th of February 1998, where they go loot Usa been there na Congo Ata, then take all my documents, including my university certificates. So I'm not going to say I know the Constitution through and through, but one thing I'm very clear about, I know the purpose and the meaning behind each section, and I know say the original draft, not all the use so. They make a lot of modifications for now, because the original draft, they recommend say, now get a two-chamber parliament. And the upper chamber, then for take paramount chiefs and other elders in society, then they would have had the power of appointments of public servants. But Salon, one problem we'll get is we get elites them. We always the twisting Benham in their own interest, but they come back and kick them at the face. The hypocrisy to our elites. I make a country they in crisis. Sierra Leone has always been a place in crisis. Sierra Leone has always been a place where technically, for those who know military science, then will tell you say Sierra Leone is in a non-kinetic war situation. From that time, today, where some of we forefathers then decide for go rogue, then begin sell them brother and sisters them into slavery. And that war they start. A non-kinetic war, they take place in a society when people them lack certain things. First and foremost, they lack trust in each other. So the society, they break down into small groups of protection. Then groups of protection can grow after some time. It take another form. Then groups of protection will be grow from that term. Where some people then go rogue and begin sell them fumble to John Hawkins. One being the Potloko area, Gombukanu, where then they tell you na history say na name Gombu Smart. In real name na Gombukanu. And I'm not going to go beyond that. So I connect, make the connection. Sell game. The other one being they down at the south area, at the Shabro area, where them be they call Bana Luis. And I mean control your island. Then they go catch people and they bring them to your island. Now then they can't transport them. From that time, now we country, the people they lost trust in each other, then go into small protection groups. Then groups, then some grow stronger, and some of them today take the shape of what you would call tribes. That mistrust to today begin. And that mistrust, it creates a kind of psychology when a very negative psychology, what they call learned helplessness. Where there is learned helplessness, people then they find solace, then they find protection in certain people or certain things. Either then go into communities or clans and call themselves tribe, or they enter certain clubs and call themselves society, or they make certain association with FIBA like Whitman Association, then call them political party. That's the situation exactly we have in Sierra Leone. Learned helplessness. And because of learned helplessness, the state we then call Sierra Leone, they only exist on paper. They exist in a map. The state we then call Sierra Leone, they exist for other than the Muslim because now get the power, they misuse the state. It doesn't exist for the people within the geographical region. That's why politicians cannot do anything to make Sierra Leone a better place because it's not part of the equation in a state of learned helplessness, whereby the people and they divide themselves into protection groups. When you get that kind of situation there, a lot therefore be done for make una able get cohesion and compromise. And above all, if una want that kind situation for continue for exist, like how they call on Sierra Leone, the law where they make for everybody has to be respected by everybody. But when you get a situation outside the very elites where they go into politics, I know they say not every elite, oh, the one that they go into politics, then they go there for misuse and abuse the law, but they in control. That kind of situation is very dangerous. And who that they suffer in then case then they are the helpless people down there. And that's exactly what we see in Sierra Leone today. People down there have become so helpless that even for us say, but this not right for we, then see I'm very strange. We don't reach the most developed level of learned helplessness in Sierra Leone. And when we reach that level, what did they reach? The non-kinetic war situation, they gradually gravitate into something else. Violence, they increase. Heartlessness, they increase. Impunity, they increase. And by the end of it all, if nothing is done to control that kind of situation, by the end of it all, what happened in Rwanda in April of 1994 is the end process when a situation of learned helplessness continuously and systematically develop in a society. And that make today at the come there as a voice for Sierra Leone. I owe no obligation to anybody political. I owe no obligation to any political party. I owe an obligation to the place I call home, my motherland and my fatherland. And the corner for making clear to those listening and those who will listen later, that since 2018, a lot of constitutional missteps don't take place in Sierra Leone, who don't put a country in deep constitutional crisis. If we don't pay attention to begin to discuss some of these infringements, if we don't pay attention for begin raise with voice, say no, una can't continue like this. In the military, they say semper fi, semper fidelis. Be prepared. Be prepared for the worst. Because you're gradually being taken off the place you call home. If we are not careful, what don't start necessarily if we continue in the next decade, Sierra Leone will not belong to Sierra Leoneans. If there are Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone, are very few go there. Would I not believe? Wait and see. If we not believe, that we come together and begin raise with voices, say no, we cannot continue like this. A lot of laws then don't pass by Sierra Leone, where the purpose are for strengthening the elite, let them misuse the people their rights, then take their lands from them, take everything from them, even the minerals within the mine of Sierra Leone. Gonna tell me almost accountability day about the minerals within the mine of Sierra Leone. In 1950s, between 55 and 58, the company opened the mine diamond of Sierra Leone Selection Trust, where about 20, 25, 30, 40% of them being owned by a big diamond company that they call the Bears Consolidated. When I then go Botswana, they make arrangements with the Botswana government. Botswana, they get 50% profit from the diamonds. That company, Sierra Leone Selection Trust, then be forced then say, let them give land, let Sierra Leoneans then begin mine for themselves, then sell to them. So Sierra Leone Selection Trust then form a company we then call Diamond, a subsidiary to Sierra Leone Selection Trust, then call them Diamond Corporations West Africa. Like COAF, being get office, now the same building, Usai, you get Rukel Bank today, but that time they call them Barclays Bank of West Africa. Then give this land to people them. The same habit for sell we birthright for Kukwebe. How some people be not sell them, fumble them into slavery. Now the same thing happen. Rather than then take their land then they make cooperatives, then sell out mine for all man profit, then shape the land to then fumble them go to Lebanese, they can sponsor it. That's how Lebanese came into diamond business in Sierra Leone. From that all then can inside diamond business, we not see Wongo, we not see Wanga, we not see head, we not see tail. Almost diamond Sierra Leone the mine, almost diamond Sierra Leone the export, we don't know. But a few people, they eat the gravy and they benefit. I know they blame Lebanese. Oh, if us not sell you, it's not they buy you. We don't go from slavery, we come to the diamonds. Now, we don't come to the next stage. and go take people the land. Now Black Johnson then give away. Now we hear say then get a program where person they buy citizenship by buying gold. Able whose country they selling citizenship that way? Whose country? You see, people like you want for life, hey, you go to America, if you are this amount, you'll have, yes, you can have citizenship, but you have to go through certain processes. And that law will allow people them forget citizenship in America. That law go through the parliament and it respects the provisions in the constitution. In Sierra Leone, the citizenship law, now one of the entrenched clauses in the constitution. If you are making a major change, Panam, first and foremost, if you take the documents of parliament, then debate on them, first, second, third reading, then do a vote. And that vote for be of all members of parliament, not those present, of all members of parliament. That's what section 108 says in the constitution. And 3/4 of them will say yes, we agree. Then after that, before that they become law. Anything then say na entrenched clause in the constitution. After that 2/3 majority vote, the government will arrange through the Electoral Commission for a national referendum. Then for all election, that the election na 2 ballot you get, yes and no. Then vote. If yes be the majority, then that decision they become law. If no be the majority, that decision not be law. That's how entrenched the Citizenship Act of Sierra Leone. The Land Act also is entrenched because the land and the possession of property is part of an entrenched chapter of the Constitution, Chapter 3. And they challenge any lawyer, any judge, let tell me say no to so it be. Chapter 3 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, especially from section 15 to 30, we cover properties and lands. It's an entrenched clause. If you want to modify it, you have to first have a 2/3 majority in parliament, then a national referendum. So what does that mean? Any change in the land laws in Sierra Leone for go through that process. Now we don't hear about new land law. We don't see that the broke people, Leosna Black Johnson, say they don't sell land to Chinese. As a matter of fact, the defense where they give say they compensate the people. Now weak defense. Weak in the sense that the laws of Sierra Leone and all international laws where Sierra Leone don't subscribe to, we're connected with land issue, the right to own property, the word free consent, and the negotiation is always involved. Not to issue for go court. Because you gain land, you have to negotiate with them. And now if you be in free consent, say yes, agree, they will not compensate me. And added to that, in any side way, the law the rule of law they prevail, then they always create an option, a last option for the person where then buy the land from or then compensate for the land for get a buyback chance. In case what in them they use the land for the purpose done when term reach, if the person know this in picking them or in next of kin can buy back that land. That's the international law and it's embedded in the laws of Sierra Leone. We sit down, they send the football the overweight, we know they pay attention. Sierra Leoneans need to pay attention. Because all them things how they go on. By citizenship, taking land from people. You they dispossess the people them of their sovereign right. And in the process, the long run effect could be people and they become landless. They have no rights. They'll become slaves to those who have the money. This is the modern form of slavery we don't start now in country. If anybody no want to come, they talk am. And yesterday, we'll go now we had go talk about case we don't send ECOWAS. They don't begin to send message to people them. May not get me on message yet, they wait for them. But they don't begin send message. You know, side in London where they come for you. Me, I welcome you now. Look me us. Are they up the hill now, Norway? Are they on the rock of Masada? They see you before you reach here. The way they can call like man. Come like man. If una think say na that resolve salon problem, intimidation, una stop that pettiness. Una stop them. Some of us are bigger than that. Roko kunuge una. And I know say, if una sabusa or they sabusa una sefde and all una fumble them. And we are going to use the netto rule. You touch one, you touch all of us. So they'll take everything easy. They'll begin to do things accordingly in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone belongs to every Sierra Leonean. You touch one, you touch all of us. They'll left pettiness now. They'll begin to think seriously. Countries and in Africa will not get as much resources as we get. Then they make progress. We know they make progress because of pettiness, because we always like let them massage with ego. Ipa. I make culture will like title. So begin to things how for do am na Sierra Leone. We cannot be selling ourselves into harm's way. 600 years with people let me don't make that mistake. That mistake they now scatter Koya Kingdom. Koya Kingdom been there up to the time where the British then come, but it was a weakened kingdom because trust not they. Now I make even the hot tax issue became a serious issue. If the people of Koya were united, the hot tax issue not be for be a serious issue. Now this sell we birthright for Kokwebe. Now then do then go all by Buga the care and go Ghana. And throughout history, we have been doing that. Even after independence, we did it. We did it. We sold our birthright. The first prime minister, he died in very funny circumstances because we sold our birthright. Some of these things we not talk in the public because we will go before. But it's time we begin to educate ourselves about what is right. But in some of the elites and they do not Sierra Leone, where you want to come with something very, you know, to lawyer and you know, to expert. I don't have to be a lawyer to know what is right or what is wrong about my constitution. The rule of law is in a crisis in Sierra Leone. This is what is happening in Sierra Leone. Systemic governance crisis, erosion of rights, land grabs, and modern slavery. And they take place technically so. Elite actions, they bypass constitutional provisions, where most of them are entrenched provisions, and even international protection laws them, where Sierra Leone be don't sign to. I go name all the laws then there. We need for take action. We need for take action. We need for take action. If not, and I'll be prepared to simplify. These are some of the entrenched parts of the Constitution that have been infringed on. The appointment of the Speaker in 2018 was illegal. I will explain to you now why illegal. The Constitution says the Speaker shall be elected by all members of Parliament and that there should be a 2/3 majority. And also, it can be elected by some members of Parliament present in the well of Parliament. Section 108 of the Constitution is clear. 2/3 majority of members of Parliament, not members of Parliament present. They use the same thing back for unlawfully dismiss the Auditor General and one of his deputies. This citizenship for gold go against the constitutional provision. Then they all what is the resulting? We don't undermine the rule of law because certain few people in the elite they want to remain entrenched in power. Now, some of them don't get their hand dirty with drug money, so they want to be there. What do we for do? Look at the citizen for gold. The infringements we make. Citizen for gold, 140,000 gold investment. This goes against Chapter 3, Section 5. One. Two, this administrative decision has never been taken to Parliament for discussion. So it is illegal. True and true. When you sell your citizenship that way, you invite undue foreign influence into a country. And we see them. Now drugs don't take over the country. Rather than we build factories for picking and for get work, we spend all the accolades on opening a nightclub, chapter 1 or whatever they call it. Apart from this section 5 of the Constitution, this action, it don't violate section 26 of the Constitution, and also it violates the United Nations 1961 resolution on the permanency of sovereignty over natural resources. They challenge any lawyer who can discuss this later, me say wrong. Because alone, a lawyer, hey, not a liar. Yeah, I may not be a lawyer practicing in the court, but I know the law that I know. I know the law that I know. All of this, what I don't point to, don't make this action legally invalid, but then they sell with citizenship. Talo man for land, for food, then settlement. Who knows who is coming to buy those citizenship? Because when you go to Tom Colili, what you they meet? The Pampana River, we can pass through Maboka, has become so polluted with mercury and other things because people in the mine gold recklessly. And who are these people? They are supposed to be Indians. Are they Indians? No, not forget, say, people are within certain continents or certain proximity, geographical proximity, the whole fiba. Are they Indians? Are they Pakistanis? Are they Afghans? Who knows? Now we all time for the fear a lot of people them. When the RAF war started, blood diamonds came into the picture. With diamond he go to Osama bin Laden group. Now sir we gold level. And looking at it in terms of security of demographics, recently drug don't increase, drug abuse don't increase in Sierra Leone. Some of the drugs they come out Europe, some they come out Asia. That tramadol and that kind of thing that they. Are these guys not coming with the tramadol to depopulate us? Then they use the money that they make from them for dig gold and go with them. People whose kind book we learn na salon for able to see them here. Are we so dumb not to see that we are harming our very selves by our actions? Are we so dumb not to see that at this material moment in the history of Sierra Leone, we get over 60% of the population below age 35? This is the time to make constructive decisions for give that population the skills what they need so go get economic and developmental takeoff. Instead, we allow them to count drugs, then can feed we picking them. Then the money, then they can go. Or then buy what's in and get for buy, pollute the environment, destroy the environment, then take the money, then go with them. Also the same slavery where John Hawkins been do with Gombukanu. Gombukanu where Grand Picking, they go talk about what in self na liberty voice, but then they are go deal with another day. Nonsense they go on as we change with because we don't expose ourselves to what they then call learned helplessness. We don't so give up with life that you say, oh boy, what you get for be like being a so God mark. Where Tom come hand out cocaine money. I don't count you now $1,000 all man clap then dance. Yay. Salon people wanna pay attention. Wanna wake up. Not consider for tell una say una go feto, not to that I mean. But what I want to now understand is knowledge is power. When you know what you need to know, you copy man, not they misuse and abuse you. When you know what you need to know, you no need for put yourself down to nobody. Una go sit up and sit down and do everything with mutual respect. If you get for subject yourself to a complete mortal ban, that means you lack knowledge. Now we hear say 100 hectares of land where na rare biodiversity and a place where one of the breeding areas of the Sierra Leone sea product. Because fish them, then they can breed within a 5 mile range of the coast. Now, I make most countries where they abide by international fishing standards, they know they allow people for fishing within that range. If you get for fishing themselves, then they give certain laws about the kind of net way they use them, so that you know go catch them small fish the who can call mina. You know go catch them small crab and things them, because that's where they breed. Some countries the fish that they call river for can breed. But if you take an area where now one of the breeding grounds with biodiversity, you go give 100 hectares away, say, for the camp develop a fishing port. Then you not take into consideration, say, this place, now people then get this area. Then get rights according to the Constitution of Sierra Leone, entrenched in Chapter 3. Then get rights according to several international laws which Sierra Leone don't sign. You say they compensate the people them. What is compensation? Honestly, let me ask this question. What is compensation? Would you compensate me for not being a Sierra Leonean anymore? Whenever they get for wake up, they get for wake up. Sierra Leoneans will not get for wake up. A lot of dirty things they go on in that country, where if we not take them in the next 10 years, half of that country either will be sold or will be destroyed beyond repairs. Because the environmental damage where they go on right now, because we allow people that will not get moral and ethical obligation to the country for candy, can do how they like. If we say for repair then damage day, we need maybe 2 decades. Sierra Leoneans, please, una begin find out. Not to any children can then tell una clap. Una begin find out. Now let me come to the laws that are illegal. The cybercrime law contradicts a lot of provisions in the Constitution of Sierra Leone when are entrenched clauses, especially in the areas of freedom of association, freedom of demonstration, etc., etc. These are entrenched clauses. If you want to change them, you can forget 2/3 majority of all members of parliament say yes. Then you go to the people of Sierra Leone, you conduct a referendum, and the majority for vote say yes, change the law. So this is an illegal piece of document. Anybody where they arrest under cybercrime, now illegal arrest. Let me see. I put this thing down for slap. Make una see me face good. Let me see. A illegal act. And anybody where they arrest or enough, we go find group of lawyers, internationally, etc., for protect that person. Enough of this. Not all now answer be make bad man. Enough of this. Don't begin behave like civilized people then as Salombo. Civilization is not about almost 100,000 clothes you wear. It's not about almost 100,000 watch you wear. It's not about almost 100,000 car you drive. It's about your ability to be tolerant with each other and live as a community. That's what civilization is by definition. And when you create them kind of laws here, you thwart civilization, because civilization forget part of it as freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association, and the right to protest, to demonstrate and say, no, we will not agree on this. We will not agree. So, on our begin consider. Why is it that we are moving towards slavery? We get weak checks and balances. Then they thief people and land, then fit fatter. All man get case for land. Soldier they come, he can broke land. Others from above. The thing about Sierra Leone is, why is it that soldiers should be involved in civilian issues or civil matters? Is it because Bana Louis been doing? So now for doing now, Ebo, we not go grow. Bana Louis being a soldier, the they go and catch people picking for sell to Gumbo Smart, that to John Hawkins. Gumbo Smart being in Tog there, where they go catch people picking there for cancel to John Hawkins. And so for continue like that until thy kingdom come. Una no go grow na Sierra Leone mentally. Una how they go inside politics. All time na for go lucky and put Nambara and Nimisapa on our people there. Let us do so now. We all can live. We all can gently in a salon. Salon gets so much that if we sit down, we organize reserve. We will get more billionaires than any country in West Africa. Most of them were on a return billionaire. And as I say in the beginning, because you were saying Papa and Mama no they sleep, himself no go sleep. The days of Togri don't know. The days of Togri don't know. Right now, in a technology world with EPA, man can zero in on you thousands of miles away with a drone. They know that. So let's begin behave properly, please. With the poor country, they will force to picking them, especially the girls, for travel through deserts. Ghana, Middle East can face a lot of abuse and molestation, just like what he make with great grandpa then run away as in Gambia. When Arabs came south, exchanging women for horses. Some people couldn't take it. They ran south into the forested region. Now don't begin back. So now the force will begin them for go. Officially, you get people there were involved on the ground for transport people picking them going at the Middle East and other parts. Let them go face molestation. And we are happy. We want our own children to prosper. And no one costs now. We have for try in a saloon. And the try for begin with the people of Sierra Leone. Una get for try. Una find out. Like the international rules here were mentioned now. This now the United Nations law on permanency of sovereignty over natural resources. This now on economic and political rights, etc., etc. Una find out, una read, una come law begin debate them here publicly. Let these guys know we know. The citizens, part of their duty now for check the one they would then they elect for lead them. And one point what I want to make clear now, whatever is going wrong in Sierra Leone today is not about SLPP or APC, it's about Sierra Leone. Because at the end of the day, when they don't sell the country down, you they say BD, mea, you'll be nothing but an ordinary slave. And your generations yet unborn could be nothing but ordinary slaves. If we want for make we go before, if we want for make we begin and go before, if we want for make everything work for we, now begin ask questions. Not every student can tell you, you they take hook, line, and sinker. Now begin ask questions. It's better to ask a stupid question than to keep your mouth shut, then things go wrong. And these violations where they go on Sierra Leone because we don't get what say every day, then they kill people, then they kill people in a mortuary, you bury them secretly, then they find the body then at the sea, etc., etc. Please, una try stop that. Una try stop that. Una stop that. You know good for una, you know good for we. Una try stop that. A word for the wise is sufficient. I go take a short break. I go come back after 5 minutes. Back again. Before I go to the second part of this program, I see then say then get a national dialogue on what type of elections procedure or whatever for use. and that they have plans to go all over the country to do consultation. I want caution when I say everything connected with elections in Sierra Leone is an entrenched process. If una want that to happen after the consultations, which is good, forget the people in view, una make a bill, carry and go through parliament, let parliament vote with 2/3 majority, then conduct a national referendum on that, whether to use first past the post or proportional representation, because that is what the present constitution in force states. I'll repeat. The processes as it is now may be one of education, but the legal processes say on for carry a bill na parliament, 2/3 of all members of parliament, not those present in parliament. If there is any member of parliament who has died and his seat vacant, okay, fine. He is not here. But members of parliament, 2/3 of them, for vote, say yes, now this we support. Then una take that back to the people and say, una can vote. Proportional representation or first past the post or which one una want. Let the people vote and say we want proportional representation or first past the post. After the people would have voted, then the law becomes law. And you know me say because parliament say proportional representation. When the people vote say we want first past the post, the parliament rule the stand. You know mean so. Because chapter 2 is clear that sovereignty belongs to the people. Chapter 2, section 5b. Una left for the abuse and misuse law na salon. Una don't know the constitution not good. Una hate them not good. Because una criminal, the human moid. Pakpata. I'll tell una they lie. Even though they don't tell me say Sierra Leoneans and they lie, but you basically say you different. And tell me that now. They know we globally for we lie. I make international community know they take we serious. Say on a left with the normal and then they don't full up. We have to begin to do things correctly in Sierra Leone. We have to stop using public offices for personal gains. This is not the second part of today's program. How go tackle private gains where people and they make from public offices, then they left with public decay. In the process, then they divide, yeah, you're not Mende, you're not Chimney, you're not APC, you're not HLPP. I can sit down at the way soon at them they cost for idiots. I don't know, say not use them, they use you now. Let we try. Let we try. Let we pull ourselves on this masibo. You don't tell 600 years ago now in this process starts. God want change salon. I tell you now this. God want change salon. I make at this material moment, it put withdrawal and test here. From war to Ebola to this to that. It's all a test. And I say, you are not resilient. You have been subjected to what is called learned helplessness. Resilience, now when you bounce back on something difficult and stand up to them. Learned helplessness. Now, when things don't overcome you, rather than you take crack, yeah, I say, God, Mark, how for do? Now people die out of reckless actions of other people. And I say, God, Mark, then go give one bag rest, as if the person in life equal to one bag rest. We know they provide hospitals for people them. We know they provide basic amenities for people them. People then they die slowly and painfully. When they die, we say, "Na so God mark." In Sierra Leone, most of the people who die nowadays, they are between age 30 and age 50. God is wicked to will for making they kill the age then they. Then now the people then they live 80, 90. God like them. And then people are, I want every 3 months and they go church. And every day when they pray. Then church then they full up every day. Then mosque they full up every day. But things are getting worse because you have conditioned yourself on what is called learned helplessness. You don't accept. Say, now so it be, I not get nothing for do, that I just live my life, that I pray, while I die, I go enjoy. Hey, let God help we. Let God help we. Let God help we. Now begin use in power we give we. Because the ability to think and think correctly, not the power of God in man. You read the Quran, you read the Bible, you read the Torah, you read the Bhagavad Gita. Now that they say God made man, he put life into man. That life, not the property of God, not the God in you. Don't allow your fellow human being to suppress that God in you. Don't. You not get power past you. We're all equal in the sight of God. We're all divine existence in the sight of God. And with a sure, because anytime where they ask we, the first question, the first answer where they come out now, where they ask you your name, the first answer where they come out now, you point to your divinity. I don't care which language you talk on it. Now your divinity you they point to. In English, you say I am. Minei Nyamia. You point to your divinity. If you see that you can't be mortal man, suppress your divinity. When you benefit, you suffer now. You're responsible for that. You know mean say for fetan, but not agree. Always try for make una meet una say 50-50 halfway. If you see say not they work, move on. Move on. There are other people you can live with. There are other people you can work with. But don't suppress your divinity to please anyone. God is not partial. Who can create a few people, let them they prosper, who now the majority they suffer. But that they don't teach you now, because they want to put you now into what they call learned helplessness. And when not give them power, then they go there and go make private gain. Now not being get suits for well. Now they drive motor car, we cost almost 100,000. Now clap for them back because we're not there learned helplessness. Ma we no been get side for sleep. In short time, it dey build almost us. Una clap for him. God help am. Una get for pay attention, Sierra Leoneans. Una get for wake up. Oh. Una get for wake up. Any law where they make na a country, they make them in the best interest of everybody. If that law not in the best interest of everybody, una no allow them for be a law. God not make few people for go make law for una. Una they vote for them, let them go make voting for make una life comfortable. If they are not doing it, tell them that law una don't pass, so not let come una agree. Yeah, who's are they? They're not a pass laws so no more. They come to the people to consult with them. They talk to them. If the people say no, it's no. But because they don't brainwash Sierra Leoneans who believe, say, there is one funny man calling himself God, who is so partial. He select few people, then they beat the other on them, punish them, take all the money. Now God they make leader. And I try wake up, and I try pay attention. If God now they make leader, why not they make the same leader in our whole country, for our lucky whole country? Why now we no more for the lucky? Why? Is God so partial to Sierra Leone that now Sierra Leone no more for the get bad leader? Is God so partial to Africa that now Africa no more for the get bad leader? Have we started thinking? Because starting to think means, have we started asking the correct questions that will lead us to find the answers? Think no means say for Shida if only and they one day, me inside they go get rest for it today. Hey, inside they get money for pay me school fee today. No, not so thinking that day. Think means say ask yourself or ask somebody a question. Ask yourself, why should God not like me to be that man? Maybe now yourself the cousin. Maybe they do something when they assist you for being the next man. Ask yourself, why should God not like me? That man, if for day under, if they bully me, the way ready send one month or say it. We have to wake up, not by taking guns and machetes, but by beginning to take the most potent weapon on earth. And the most potent weapon on earth is thinking. At that time, they try for tell we in a simplified way, we then say the pen is mightier than the sword, but we don't understand them. The pen, it represents thinking. When you think, you ask questions to yourself, to others, when I discuss them, you dey get the answers. And when I begin get the answers, the first thing will happen when they begin build standards in the society, ethical standards. When una don't build ethical standards here, the next thing will happen when they build trust. And one thing we Sierra Leoneans need for know, trust not the only currency where they exist. Cash is not currency. It's a medium of exchange. Trust in every language, in every culture. And most Sierra Leonean languages, what they call trust by the Arabic word or the Madingo word, sabu, sababu. People think when they say sabu, it means say opportunity. No, not trust. You cannot get opportunities if you don't have trust. In this part of the world, you sit down, Lekusa, sit down, so I write an application, then fund me, I do a project. Why? Because I give information will make them they trust me. If the information I give, they not trust them, they not they fund them. Not so good than they do. Not so sympathy show the world they run on. They run on trust. And trust, they only exist in a society where una don't ask all the questions we una need for ask. We go make una all able to tolerate each other, live with each other in decency, in honesty, and in equality. Then una build trust. Once una build trust, that society they function, and everybody they begin prosper. Prosperity, not a magic. Prosperity now the ability of each person in society for take part in the day-to-day activities of society. Whether a carpenter he making furniture, whether a cleaner he go clean, whether a cook he making food, whether a driver he drive. All these things, when people trust each other, they respect each other, they pay well for those services. That man they make him furniture, you they pay him well for him furniture we make. A cleaner in Norway, would work 5 years, they earn close to $10,000. Yes, because the society is built on trust and they respect every occupation. In Sierra Leone, because we not get trust, we they molest people them for their job. But come on, you're not cleaner. It is very important. And because we molest cleaners, look at city. What in Donald Trump talk about Africa? In the Sierra inside Freetown, as American, all my side on town, flood the place. When they know the any side way pass now, dirty they meet. Because we not get that currency from make we live together. We not get them. The few of we will get opportunity for land book. We first don't say, let we make this place for we all. Now we they destroy them. Botswana is almost in the middle of the Kalahari Desert in Southern Africa. They got independence in 1966. At the time when Botswana got independence, they had only 24 graduates, university graduates, and a few secondary school leavers. They had this man whose father was King Seret Sikama, who be Donka England. He fall in love with a British lady. He gets all in experiences, being discriminated against, etc., etc. He went back. He called the other chiefs. He said, "Una lo cancel lo make ya." What him first then do? He said, "Bo, we na meat we sabi produce. Well, we put effort on this." Then Botswana started investing in meat production. Since I they talk, one of the few countries in Africa where they export beef, go all over the world. Then by 1970, 71, 72, then begin to certain geological surveys for find out what's in the underground. Then can find out, say, then get diamonds. And as a matter of fact, the diamonds, the people them be already get them, them be use them for decorate the house. They don't know say na valuable something. It's like a wood and discover diamond Abuajibu. All man rush go for go mine diamond. For them, when that happened, they said, okay, let's see how we do for benefit this country with this. And call the BS consolidated. So on a local arrange. We get diamond, on account for mine, but we want this percentage. We're ready for make this input, this input, this input. They had an agreement. They're not sitting on now diamond. If I give, nah, that was not it. They gave concessions and they allow say we self go make this contribution. They had an agreement. They formed a company when De Beers Botswana and call am Debswana. Debswana is owned 50% by the people of Botswana. Botswana, they get 50% of the diamond profit. Botswana are the only country in Africa who know they go IMF for go bigger, bigger. Then they do, they are members. Every country is a member of IMF. But then they go ask them for money. Then they go World Bank for money. Then they go European Union for money. And Botswana with Sierra Leone, not small difference in size. So we are two opposites in Africa. A video there on that on YouTube. It's unfortunate. And all the YouTube flag me down and I go use it because people their intellectual property. But it's there on YouTube. Una go see am. Comparing Botswana and Sierra Leone. It's a disgrace for a place who them say was once the Athens of West Africa. For don't fall so low. Then you get a bundle of idiots they go all over the place. They claim say they're educated. They are not ashamed to be calling their titles. What has your title done to change the intellectual environment of Sierra Leone? What has your titles done to improve on the emotional intelligence of the people of Sierra Leone? It's high time we begin to reconsider what is Sierra Leone mean to each and every one of us. It's high time we begin to reconsider the kind Sierra Leone will want going forward, will go left for picking and picking them. It's high time we begin to reconsider what legacy we want to leave for Sierra Leone. And that legacy should not be a material thing. I don't bills, I don't buy motor car. We don't see people that come up from families who bring their own property. Today is no more. They talk so I come up from that family. One of my cousin and playmates, then we used to play as children. They know what they talk. Sierra Leoneans need to wake up. Wake up, ask the questions, discuss the questions, begin to inculcate tolerance. Because that's all I don't see inside the world political party. Now they are at war. All man they pull close for fighting company. Every day, then they bombard waste with authoritarian social media. Ebo, this kind craze way past that. The craze in Sierra Leone don't become officially sanctioned. The other hand, then they make kuku jumuku. You know they cause them to kuku jumuku. We go begin then they kill themselves this because they for poison each other na easy thing. We know. We know our games there. I'm Sierra Leonean. I know all the what you people do. It's high time we move away from those things. There is enough to spare in Sierra Leone. There's enough. Every district in Sierra Leone has a mineral resource. Every district in Sierra Leone has an agricultural potential. Even the western area, if everything is properly managed, we can mine platinum. We can also take care of fisheries. There are other things we can do that will bring money, tourism, etc., etc. But we sit down, we're busy, they cause some effects. This trauma, I don't pass mark per will, Lord try friend psychiatrists, then let them begin men with. This trauma don't pass mark. I know to we no more traumatized in Africa. Other people they know been suffer the same thing like we. Why we own for Tanso? Why? You go all over the world, you they see other nationalities, then they come up from different tribes, but they can manage to tolerate each other. You get Kenyans coming together. Kenya has more tribalism than Sierra Leone. But they come together. There is a Kenya association. Nigerians get more tribes than Sierra Leone. There is a Nigerian association. Ghana, Botswana, Somali, this, that. How many Sierra Leone associations do we have in the diaspora? Now they Arikola, Amugome, Tegloma, Datemene, Tamarane. Ebo, we're not going to grow now. We are not allowed to try grow. For the sake of picking them and then picking them. Don't try grow out of this. Enough of this. This Bentel game who they play. Enough of them. You know they help me. You know they help we. Let's help we because if Sierra Leone was a safe and stable place, when I say safe and stable, what do I mean? If I believe say I able go Sierra Leone, I go able sit down there. If I sick, I get good medical facility. If I believe say I go Sierra Leone, I able sit down there. I able drink clean water. Clean water. You see? I see the reflection. If I sick, I go Sierra Leone. I able get electricity 24/7. Maybe I go with something will go help the country. Maybe I go with investment will go help the country, go provide jobs for people. But this Bentel owner they pa now want all phone alone I take all book. But you know they better. The people they know they better. When I thief money, perhaps when I can't keep another country or when I go buy property in another man country. Country they better. That's plenty. For them, you don't give money, that's alone. They can buy property outside where they die. It is going. Now we are say someone, then they put them then property, and then family name, and this name, then they all then get for lopuna. Now na picking and they suffer. You not die on a picking, they not get for benefit from all that. But I see some of them not get picking. So not any worries. When I just get the phone for thief. Don't have the share, don't thief this. No, allow try, allow try. Don't change na saloon. If I'm them, Some of we don't make up our mind. We last days, we go spend them for help salon they go before. Not because I want political office. I'm past that. If I get for go do any public work now, I say, the work of an advisor. I don't want nobody in office. That in my corner, you need me advice, come meet me or call me or send message to me, email. Say, boy, advise me. I like you not pay me for that, and it no matter. I will do it in the interest of Sierra Leone if what you are asking for is in the interest of Sierra Leone. Sometimes, if some of we go, that corner where they go sit down, we go up in Casada farm, we begin make gari, we begin make starch, we begin make other things. We go employ 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000 people. Then then go get take home pay, we go take care of them, then go get shares in the business, then begin and go get education endowment. But if we not continue, so go sit down now, we die now, fufu we left power. He go left power. Salon no go better. Me go die now, sometimes I go better small because then go put marble, gravestone for me. Go last almost 100 years, then go the cancer. Say that idiot, now I die. Unallowed side help Sierra Leone. Now we put Sierra Leone first. It's in the best interest of every Sierra Leonean. Today, I don't go there long, and I dey do some revisions in my programs where sometimes I go ever begin educational talks and other things once a week where I go target specific demographics then. And if I ever begin then talks and day, I will ever begin do them in the language where everybody go understand. Because it may be a program to target people outside Sierra Leone, but within the West African region. Ataluna, thank you for listening to me. Because in Alasan, we know Salon a crisis by design, don't you? Not it's no, don't you? We born meet them, we grandpa them born meet them, but let us try let end now. Let we try, let it end now. Let this thing end now. Let it be for everybody now. Don't left this smartness. Smart people. But you think say smart, it create self-destruction for it. Smart, idiot. Smart people don't create self-destruction. Then they create the best advantage in a situation where everybody they prosper, but they would have the best advantage. But if you create a situation where you say your prosperity is built on sand, then you are not smart. I tell Una, thank you for listening. I wish everybody a nice weekend. I go come on Monday. Of course, this week I've not been there on Monday and Wednesday because we were engaged with some other matters, and I think some people saw me yesterday on Wiyad. I am a member of a group of Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora and in Sierra Leone. We want to bring sanity to Sierra Leone. We know once you don't wait till we reach the Rwanda point. So we are going to begin to work together to create checks and balances where necessary. And where necessary, if we have to force change, we'll do it, but not by the use of weapons. It's by the use of this intelligence. I know say we're not going to hear it, but that we don't take a case with the ECOWAS court on the elections in Sierra Leone of 2023. According to our Constitution, Chapter 2, Section 5, give everybody the right to take action. Based on that, we're taking action. Other clauses, then the other sections, then they will give you the right. Other international laws, then they will give you the right. So we have taken action. We don't get acknowledgement of receipt. We are waiting to hear what the ECOWAS court is saying. If we don't get what we want from them, there are other levels we can go. It's a long fight, but we are fighting for the soul of Sierra Leone. And we don't want to use the kinetic war. It's a non-kinetic, intelligence-based war. So the old man begin sharping widow. And until they don't begin send open call message yesterday, but I left that book. I left open call research. Ariman, they're not a born a circumstance they create Ariman. Bad man, they're not a born a circumstance they create. And I now create a circumstance. They'll sit down, they'll get this thing leveled out, they'll create respect, mutual respect in society, they'll create trust. That's what we want, and that's how we are going to want it. And I thank you for listening to me. I go come on Monday. I get a nice weekend. When I do things slowly, don't stress, stop. Life is made for challenges, so don't get yourself stressed up over anything. Keep yourself cool, think, plan, apply the plan. Now, thank you for listening to me. We will meet on Monday.
What happens when truth becomes a tool, not a right? In Sierra Leone, confusion isn't just chaos. It's strategy. When leaders deny what you live, gaslight your reality, and rewrite the past, who really holds the power? Tonight on Truth Unmasked, we expose the tactics, we name the games, we decode the lies. Don't just believe what they tell you. Ask why they want you.